So my wife has been wanting a organizer for this kitchen drawer for the utensils. A box like this, but more customized for this space and to fit all the random crap we have. So I spent last night kind of doing a little layout on some plywood and working on a model and SketchUp of what I want to build. This is what I use for all my woodworking stuff. It's awesome. You can basically build it in a model here before you ever cut any wood. Really cuts down on the mistakes and waste. So I think I have the layout I want now, and I'm gonna go to the wood shop and build it. So I think 2019, 2020, on one of my construction projects, there was this cherry tree that was gonna be cut down and thrown away. So I grabbed the chainsaw mill and sawed it into these boards, and they've just been chilling here for, what, 7 years now. So I think I will make it out of some of that stuff, just so I don't have to buy anything new. And you know what, if I do that, then the drawer organizer will match this cutting board I made for my wife for Christmas a couple years ago. This is from that same cherry tree. So it lives in the kitchen as decoration, and it'll match the drawer organizer over there. So this is the piece I pulled down. Again, cherry. It's got a couple defects in it, but I can fill those with epoxy if need be. That's what I did with the cutting board. It actually kind of makes the wood look, you know, cooler, in my opinion. Has more character and stuff. And I think just this one board in my model, I think I can get the entire project out of this one piece. Let's see. So from here, it's just a matter of ripping this down into individual parts for the little utensil organizer thing. I'm not going to videotape all of that, it's very boring, but that's the next steps. So from the model, I'm able to get all the parts and pieces and do the joinery. So when you draw it all in here, you can do it piece by piece, and you can see how everything goes together. And then from this, pull all your dimensions for every piece. So I've done that. So now it's just a matter of cutting everything up. For the bottom of the utensil tray thing, I went through my plywood stack, and I have just about everything except for cherry veneer down here and up there and over there and everywhere else. So no cherry plywood. I really don't want to buy a $150 sheet of plywood for this, so I'm just going to make my own to do that. I mean, plywood is just layers of wood glued together in alternating directions to make it stronger. So if you take a piece of regular plywood, you saw some cherry really, really thin and glue it to the plywood, you basically end up with the same thing. So that's what I did last night. I took the bottom, watch out buddy. Foster has a milkshake and is keeping me company in the wood shop. I took the piece of plywood that was going to be the bottom. I sawed some really, really thin pieces of cherry and just lined those on the top and squished it together in these clamps overnight to dry up. All right, that turned out pretty good. Cherry veneer. Got some cleanup to do on the edges. I'll just use a trim router to clip all this overhang off. I left it long on purpose so I wouldn't have to perfectly line up the cherry with the plywood. I can just oversize it and then, you know, go around the edges and trim off the excess. There's also some voids in here to fill in. That's really easy to do with black super glue. I'll show you guys how I do that in a second. But yeah, it's the first time I've ever used this little technique. Turned out good. So the little defects in the wood, you know, knot holes and breaks and whatever else, bark inclusions. I take dark super glue. It's like a medium set super glue, and just drip it in those holes and let it fill in. And we'll soak into those and clean them right up. And then you can come back with this instant set activator And that makes it harden in seconds. Go over it with the sander and it disappears. So it's a cool way to keep character in the wood, but also make it usable.
If you like this video, please subscribe to see more content.
It turned out pretty good. Got the knot holes filled with the epoxy. Also came back with some cherry wood filler. There were some really fine cracks in this wood that worked out great on. But yeah, as a concept, and for the first time for me doing it, I like it. I can't imagine doing this for a full sheet of plywood. That would be a lot of work, but for a little piece like this, I like it. All right, I got all the parts cut out. So we got the back, the plywood, sides, front, back. Got a divider here, all these little utensil dividers. And then in this big area here, I'm gonna make a knife block so we have a place to put all the knives. So I just got it all sanded up. Now I'm gonna glue it all together. All right, I got it all glued up. I got it sanded. I've just got to do the knife block that will go in here, and then probably do some other light sanding and wood putty filler and whatnot, and then put a finish on it. It's done. Almost there. All right, I've been working on this knife block. I started with a chunk of cherry from that same tree. I cut some slices in it with a table saw, and then I cut these little grooves in it with the router table, and that lets you put the knives in sort of an organized way. So I have a couple more, whatever you call these, grooves left to cut for the last several knives, and then this whole block will go into here and drop in, and we're almost done. And I got my two helpers with me. Say hi.
Hi. Hi.
Here we go, finished product. Finished putting the lacquer on it last night. About to put it in the drawer, show it to the wife. What do you think, baby?
I like it.
Is it smooth?
Yeah.
Did I do a good job sanding it?
Yeah.
How do you like the knife block?
This one? Yeah, I like it.
Nice. All right. Do you think it will fit?
Yes.
Like a glove.
Like a glove, boo.
Yay!
And all done. Didn't forget all of her stuff put in here. Nice and neat. Looks much better than what we had before. You happy?
Very.